The Banana Splits Movie 2, Road Split. Chapter 2. Suddenly, a knock on the door jolted Susie from her sweet sleep. The girl opened her eyes. "Sweetie, are you asleep? Can we come in?" Her father's voice finally roused Susie fully. "Yes, Dad." The door slowly swung open. Her parents entered the room, carrying a huge chocolate cake topped with two number-shaped candles, a 1 and a 0. "Happy birthday to you." Her parents walked slowly through the room, singing the familiar celebratory tune, "Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Susie." Finally, they reached the bed and handed the cake to their daughter. "Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad." The happy girl blew out both candles in one go and kissed her parents. "We have a surprise for you. Dad arranged with the management to book the entire Taff studio building for your birthday and throw the coolest, most unforgettable party ever. We even spoke with Stevie's parents so he could be there too. Have some cake, get dressed, pack your things, and then we'll head out." "Okay, Mom." An hour later, the whole family was ready to leave. They exited the house, got into the car, and drove off. "Clark, are you drunk again? How many times?" The blonde woman shouted at the man holding a bottle, but he didn't react at all and just kept drinking. "Do you even care about our son? Guests will be here soon, and you're sitting there wasted." The woman moved to another room with a displeased look. "Stevie, are you ready?" "Yes, Mom." The boy, dressed in blue shorts and a Transformers t-shirt, sat on the bed waiting for guests. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. The woman went to answer it. On the doorstep stood Susie and her parents. "Hello. So nice to see you," the woman said, turning to call her son. "Stevie, come here." A few seconds later, the boy appeared. Susie was standing behind her parents. Ever since she'd fallen for Stevie, she felt a little shy about interacting with him. Love sure does strange things to a person. "How is Clark?" asked Susie's father. "Same as always," the blonde replied, averting her gaze as if she were being accused, though there was no such intent in the question. "I'm trying to get through to him, but no luck so far." "I see. I wish you patience and strong nerves. Don't give up." "Thank you." They said their goodbyes, and the four figures departed, leaving the woman alone with her hopeless husband. Susie and Stevie were sitting in the back seats. The boy was playing with his favorite Transformer toy, Megatron, while Susie was admiring her beloved Mickey Mouse. She wanted to talk to Stevie but felt shy. Finally, overcoming her fear, she did it. "Stevie, who's your favorite banana split?" "I don't know. Probably Drooper." "What about you?" "Snorky." "Want me to tell you a secret?" The girl leaned close to Stevie's ear and continued in a whisper, "But don't tell anyone. I liked Snorky so much that sometimes I'd stay after filming, go backstage to where the splits were, and start playing and dancing with him. My dad saw me and gave him a special function. Now, if I perform my shuffle for him, he will identify me and will do whatever I ask. I call it Snorky Shuffle." "Wow. Cool. If I perform your shuffle to him, will he obey me?" "I'm not sure. We can try to figure it out when we get there." "Okay." The children continued talking about their own things, while Susie's parents discussed work and future plans. After about 40 minutes, the group arrived at their destination. Two pairs of gates stood at the entrance to the property. Between them was a small booth where a security guard sat, a kind of checkpoint. Above, white letters spelled out Taff Studio. The car pulled up to the booth. A bearded man in uniform, around 40, looked out the window. The driver's side window rolled down, and Susie's father shook his hand. "Hello, Henry, good to see you." The man smiled. "Good to see you too, Carl." Susie didn't know the security guard well. When her father brought her for filming, she would just say hello but never had a full conversation. It wasn't that she was shy or unwilling to communicate, the moment just never really arose. She usually spent all her time inside the studio. Suddenly, the guard's gaze shifted to Susie. "The Banana Splits told me it's their little friend's birthday today." The man extended his hand, holding a large, colorful box of candy toward the girl. and they asked me to give you this. The girl looked at her father, seeking approval, and he nodded. She accepted the gift and thanked the man. He smiled, wished them a good day, and the car moved on. Susie examined the box of candies, which featured a picture of the banana gang. Welcome to the team was written on top. Stevie watched the construction scaffolding, foundations, and various outbuildings whizzing by in areas where new sets for the show were planned. The main management, including Susie's father, planned to build a host of new, diverse locations for the next season of the Banana Splits. In fact, on one of these sets, the four main heroes were supposed to meet the new character, the cat Harmony, according to the script. Finally, the car reached the parking lot. Everyone got out and headed toward the adjacent building. This was Stage 01, the oldest and largest of them all. A path paved with a red carpet ran along its front side, leading to the building's entrance. A giant giraffe head protruded from the wall. Susie never understood why they put this decoration here, as there was no giraffe among the key characters. To its left, set into the wall, was a huge fan, about 3.5 meters in diameter, connected to the building's main ventilation shaft. Right at the entrance hung a poster depicting Fleagle, Drooper, Bingo, Snorky, and Susie in her signature yellow dress. Sometimes Stevie got upset that he wasn't on the poster, even though he, like Susie, played one of the main human roles. He wasn't particularly popular with the fans either. Some even sent letters asking for him to be removed from the show, but they were refused. The four entered through the red door and disappeared into the depths of the building. Beth pushed through the dense undergrowth, one arm shielding her face from branches and leaves, the other gripping her son Austin. Harley. Zoe. Suddenly, a loud sound seemed to come from all around them, like someone beating huge sticks against a massive drum. I hear some kind of noise. Bingo. The boy realized, but something large and heavy immediately grabbed him by the shoulders and yanked him upward. Mom. The woman turned and saw her son being held by an animatronic standing on a small metal walkway. She tried to run to Austin's aid but found her arms and legs entangled in vines. She couldn't move. Austin. Panic began to seize the woman. Mom, help me. Austin's voice came from above. Austin. The woman realized she was crying. She couldn't help her son. Mom. 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 Austin's voice echoed from the deepest corners of her mind, barely audible at first. Mom. Wake up. The voice grew noticeably louder, the world swimming into focus. Mom. Finally, Beth opened her eyes. She realized she had just woken up. Her son was leaning over her, blocking out the star-studded night sky. Mom, thank God you're alive. Austin hugged his mother. Austin, what happened? Where are we? The woman looked around. She was lying on grass not far from the highway. Her hands were covered in scratches and abrasions. Her head was spinning. To the right began a large, dark forest. Their car had crashed into one of the trees lining the edge of the road. Beth saw that about 4 meters away, Zoe was sitting on a small log, stretching out her leg, which Paige was bandaging with a medical wrap under the beam of a flashlight she held in her mouth. Hearing Beth's voice, she left Zoe and ran over to her. We had an accident, but the airbags deployed. I came to and pulled everyone out of the car to revive you. Austin's face had grown slightly pale, but I couldn't find Harley. He just wasn't in the car. Wasn't in the car. Where did he go? The news fully woke Beth. She tried to sit up, but a sharp pain stopped her. The woman cried out. Her entire body ached. It felt like all her bones were broken. Paige grabbed her and slowly lowered her back to the ground. Don't get up, it's dangerous. You might have a fracture. We need to find Harley. We absolutely will, but first, you need to be checked over. Austin walked back to the car. A couple of minutes later, he returned with a bandage roll, a flashlight, and a blanket. Paige, can you pass the antiseptic? The girl handed over the spray bottle she had used on Zoe's leg. Austin began treating Beth's hands while Paige continued bandaging Zoe's leg. When Austin finished, he wrapped his mother in the blanket as if in a spider's cocoon. Beth's head was spinning terribly. She could no longer stay conscious and closed her eyes. "Mom, don't fall asleep," Austin's voice pleaded. "She needs to rest. Keep an eye on her pulse. There's a gas station not far from here. Zoe and I will go there and call an ambulance, and you stay with Beth." Paige turned to the curly-haired girl. "Can you walk?" "I think so," Zoe replied, moving her bandaged leg. "Hurry," urged Austin. "Okay." The girls left. Dan and Bill were inspecting the area. "We need to check one specific spot." A man called the police station and reported watching a live stream by two bloggers who were here during the incident. The feed cut off when they were in Fleagel's magic shop. Maybe they're still there and need help. All right. The two officers moved on. After walking down a corridor, they entered a huge room containing several different sets at once. They reached their destination. Fleagel's magic shop was a small area furnished with cardboard scenery depicting various houses, walls, and interiors. The entrance to the stage was designed as an archway made from a deck of playing cards, each card being a meter tall and half a meter wide. The officer's attention was drawn to one of the location's main props, a sawing box. Its two halves had been pulled slightly apart. Directly beneath them on the floor was a large, dried pool of blood. Dan and Bill moved closer to get a better look. "My God, it's like someone was torn to shreds here," Bill said, horrified. "Strange. Such a huge pool, but no body. Something's off here." Dan approached one of the halves and saw it was covered in blood. "It's like someone was." The officer was interrupted by a voice from the radio. "Dan, do you copy? What's your status there?" "Copy that. We found a large pool of blood, but there's no body anywhere." "Understood. We have a slight issue here. The team inspecting the technical corridors under the building has gone silent. Can you check what happened to them?" "Copy that. Will do. Over and out." The two officers turned and started heading back. "I wonder what happened to them. Maybe one of those stuffed motherfuckers survived and attacked them." "You think three trained, armed men couldn't handle it?" "I don't know.